Hello everyone, I'm glad you're here with me again. Living in a toxic relationship for a long time might cause us health damages and emotional pain that would block inspiration and creativity, even when the interaction is subconscious. So in case you're not aware of it, here are 12 symptoms to pay attention to in order to know that one is living in a toxic relationship. I use here the term toxic in order to include as many predatory behaviors as possible. And those who'd like to know more about it, more specifics, you can watch the videos I made on this channel about narcissists and psychopaths, etc. 1. Intimidation and violence. This is obvious. If your friend or partner uses violence or intimidation with you, this is a sign they are not your friend and that you need to run yesterday. 2. Emotional manipulation. Using guilt and shame, even seduction, in order to make you do something for them. Things that you're not comfortable doing. Or they make you feel like you owe them something, though you don't owe them anything. Their sense of entitlement makes them feel that you owe them something, and they will get emotional and abusive if you refuse to get manipulated and give them what they want. 3. Lies. Whether it's out of foolishness or out of conscious intention, we don't want to be friends neither with a fool nor with a sneaky liar. Of course, everyone lies to a certain extent, but I'm talking here about pathological liars and lies that cause damage or get us in trouble. There are people who cannot say anything without lying about it, even when it's not necessary to lie. For them, talking means lying. 4. Abusive tease. There's a difference between being playful and being abusive. Someone who causes damage and then says, "It's a prank," or "I'm kidding." Such person cannot be excused for being playful. Gosh, get some sense of humor. Damage is an indication of abuse or stupidity, but both are a sign that one needs to run. Damage is not only breaking things. It can be a waste of money, waste of time. It can be emotional damage. 5. Denial. They would never acknowledge their wrongdoing, regardless of how much evidence you provide. Regardless of how much evidence you provide, they'll always twist words. And even when you show them their actions recorded on camera, they might acknowledge that verbally, but emotionally, they keep denying that by saying that they are just human beings. And human beings make mistakes. They might even escalate by portraying themselves as the victim, or that they are the self-sacrificing martyr and that you are the ungrateful abuser. 6. Rationalization of their bad intentions and their immoral behavior. At this level, they already admit that they are toxic, but they are playing with words in order to justify why it's okay to be like that. Now, the enablers here might feel safe in the beginning, but when there's no more scapegoats, they will be sacrificed next. 7. They feel immune to justice. We talked about the privileged golden children in the past. Since they have never been held accountable for their wrongdoing, and since they've always gotten away with it, while their parents and enablers scapegoated someone else, they grew up with that sense that they can do whatever they want, and they can cause as much damage as they want, and they will never be held accountable. Look at Amber Heard in court. She has no conception whatsoever of what it means to be held accountable. This might be the first time in her life where she actually faces an unbiased audience. 8. For the same reason I just mentioned, they never accept any responsibility for their actions, and they always look for a scapegoat to blame. 9. Credit. Just like they scapegoat others for failures or damages caused by them, when there is success of others, they are the first to take credit for it, though their contribution might have been minor or irrelevant. 10. Absence of conscience and empathy. While the toxic manipulate their target with a sense of guilt and shame, and while their target might easily feel ashamed and guilty without being actually guilty or shameful, the toxic lacks empathy to the level they do not feel what it means to hurt others. They know exactly what it means to be hurt, and they might be even hurt for no objective reason, and they would come back with vengeance, but they do not know what it means to cause pain and harm to others. And even when others call them out, the toxic person never acknowledges his or her guilt or shame, though he or she might be actually guilty Or shameful. Again, look at Amber Heard, how shameful and guilty she is. Yet, she's still going around shamelessly, without any sense of guilt, blaming the jury for not buying into her lies. She'd rather defame the whole world than acknowledging her wrongdoing. They might be very toxic, yet they'd always portray themselves under extremely heroic light, like the selfless, or the martyr, or the innocent victim. 12. Childish bullying. Though trolling and teasing and smirking and degrading and abusive humor might look sometimes harmless to adults, they do it because they can afford it, because their brains are still stuck in the kindergarten. Thank you everyone for staying with me. I hope I could shed some light on this. I'm Shredy Jabarin. Ciao.